I'm Suzanne Smith. The Sunshine State is the setting for the 2013 Florida Book Awards General Fiction Silver Medalist winner, Heart of Palm. Author Laura Lee Smith wrote the book about the Bravo family and their dysfunctional life in the small town of Utena. She's here to talk about the creation of that story. Welcome.
Thank you, Suzanne. Thanks for having me.
My first question is, the story is set in the town of Utena, and it's almost like that's a character as well in the book. How did you find Utena?
Well, people have asked me that, in fact, and I feel very, I feel wonderful when I hear that the town itself is sort of beginning to function as a character in the book, because to me that area of Florida is very vibrant and very much does function almost as a person or a character. I live in St. Augustine, Florida, excuse me, and the town of Utena, the fictional town of Utena, is very much inspired by the real town of Palm Valley, Florida, which is just northwest of where I live in St. Augustine. It's just to the southwest rather, of Ponte Vedra Beach, which some viewers may be familiar with. And Palm Valley, Florida is a very old town that was well known for, back in the day, it was known for harvesting palms that were then sold to churches for Palm Sunday services. But it was also known on another level as an area that produced a lot of moonshine. And, you know, it's a very wooded area. But the area has gone through a lot of change in recent years, as many areas of Florida have. A lot of development, a lot of change, a lot of growth. So it just seemed like an interesting place to set this story.
And the characters in the story, all of them are dealing with change in some way as well, and so it's the town as well as the characters.
Yes, yes. I live in St. Augustine, as I said. I live in St. Johns County, and St. Johns County and Flagler County, just to the south of us, are among the fastest growing counties in Florida. And at the same time, it's very sort of, there's a built-in tension, because St. Augustine is also the oldest city in the United States. So we have this conflict between some of the families and some of the institutions who have been in that part of Florida for so long. And they're sort of finding themselves coming up against these tidal waves of new residents and new development, which is certainly not all bad. And, you know, I think that who can blame folks for wanting to live in this area? It's a very, very beautiful part of the state. But sometimes I think it's hard for the families who have been there for a long, long time to reconcile themselves with that change.
And the main family in the story, the Bravos, they are one of those families that have been there for a long time,
Yes.
got ties to the bootlegging and everything,
Yes.
and they're facing some changes.
They're facing some changes. A developer comes along and says, I would like to give you a lot of money for your property. They own two very valuable pieces of property right on the banks of the Intracoastal Waterway. One is their family home and the other is their family restaurant. And when they're offered a lot of money for these two pieces of property, there of course are some members of the family who think this is a great idea and that they should cash out, and there are others that are not so sure that that's the right thing to do. So therein lies the conflict, and the family dynamics begin to, I think, boil over.
What do you think is next for you? Are you working on another story, or what's your next story about?
I am working on another story, and this one is actually set in Jacksonville, Florida, which is a town that I lived in for many years before I moved a little bit further south into St. Augustine. And this one is not a sequel. I've had a few readers say, oh, will there be more about Frank and the Bravos? And at the moment, no, this isn't a sequel, but this is about a family who, they have some estrangement also in their family, and the father in particular is trying to make things right with one of his family members with whom he is estranged. And they own and operate an ice factory in Jacksonville, Florida.
Well, I'm going to say that I'd like to see a sequel to The Heart of Palm as well. I did enjoy that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and congratulations on your award.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
The Florida Book Awards are presented annually to recognize, honor, and celebrate the best Florida literature. The program is coordinated by the Florida State University Libraries and co-sponsored by these groups that promote books by and for all Floridians.